The rain hammered against the windows of the new Terra Veterinary Clinic as Dr. Ira Chin finished documenting her last case of the evening. The colony world of Proxima 7 had been humanity's home for 3 generations now, but the relationship with the indigenous species remained complicated at best, hostile at worst. That's when she heard it. A pitiful whimper coming from the alley behind the clinic. Ira grabbed her medical scanner and rushed outside, her boots splashing through puddles that reflected the neon signs of the colony's commercial district. There, huddled against a dumpster, was a creature she'd only seen in restricted xenobiology files. A Lupari pup, no more than a few weeks old. The Lupari were the apex predators of Proxima 7, wolf-like beings with 6 legs, crystalline fur that shimmered like starlight, and an intelligence that rivaled humanity's own. They were also fiercely territorial, and human-Lupari relations had been strained since colonization began. Contact was strictly prohibited under colonial law. The pup looked up at her with eyes like liquid mercury, one of its hind legs bent at an unnatural angle. It tried to growl, but the sound came out as a pathetic wheeze. Blood matted its iridescent fur, and Ira could see the telltale signs of a hovercar collision. She knew the law. She knew the consequences. But she was a veterinarian, and this was a suffering creature. "Easy there, little one," she whispered, slowly extending her hand. The pup snapped weakly at her fingers, but she'd handled frightened animals before. With practiced ease, she wrapped the creature in her jacket and carried it inside. For the next 3 hours, Ira worked with the focus that had made her one of the colony's best veterinarians. She set the fractured leg, cleaned the wounds, administered pain medication carefully adjusted for the pup's xenophysiology, and monitored its vital signs. The creature, she decided to call it Fun, slowly stopped struggling and began to watch her with curious, intelligent eyes. "You're going to be okay," she murmured, gently stroking the crystalline fur that hummed softly under her touch. Fun made a sound almost like a purr. That's when the door burst open. Director Hammond of the Colonial Compliance Bureau stood in the doorway, his face red with fury, flanked by 2 security officers. Behind them, Ira could see her clinic manager, Dr. Peterson, looking apologetic but resolute. "Dr. Chun, you are in direct violation of Colonial Statute 7 Alpha," Hammond announced. "Unauthorized contact with indigenous sentient species is strictly forbidden." "This is a child," Ira said quietly, positioning herself between Hammond and the treatment table where Fun lay. "An injured child. I took an oath. An oath to serve human interests on this colony." Peterson interjected. "Ira, I'm sorry, but you've crossed a line. Your employment is terminated effective immediately, and you'll be facing criminal charges." They took Fun, despite Ira's protests. Despite her pleading that the pup needed continued care, they sedated the creature and carried it away. Hammond informed her that she had 24 hours to vacate her clinic-provided apartment before formal charges would be filed. That night, Ira sat in her small apartment, staring at her terminated employment contract on her datapad. She'd lost everything: her job, her reputation, possibly her freedom, for 3 hours of veterinary care. But when she closed her eyes, she could still see Fawn's trusting gaze and feel the gentle vibration of its crystalline fur. She didn't regret it. The next morning, Ira was packing her belongings when an enormous shadow fell across her window. She looked up and froze. 3 Lupari adults stood outside her building, each easily the size of an earth grizzly bear. Their crystalline fur caught the morning light, creating rainbow prisms that danced across the walls. But most striking was the figure standing between them. It was Fun, standing on all 6 legs, the injured limb perfectly functional. And riding on Fun's back was a Lupari unlike any Ira had seen. Ancient, its fur turned silver with age, wearing what appeared to be ceremonial markings that glowed with bioluminescence. The building's intercom crackled to life. "Dr. Ira Chun," a voice said in perfect standard English. Translated by technology Ira didn't know the Lupari possessed. "I am Elder Soren of the Lupari Concord. You treated my grandchild. We would speak with you." With trembling hands, Ira went downstairs. A crowd had gathered, security forces holding people back, but the Lupari paid them no attention. When Ira emerged, Fun immediately bounded toward her, making that purring sound again. The pup was completely healed, moving with the grace inherent to its species. Elder Soren approached, and Ira was struck by the profound intelligence in those mercury eyes. For 3 generations, humans have lived on our world, the elders said. In all that time, not one has shown compassion to our kind when it mattered. You risked everything for a child not your own, of a species not your own. This is what we have waited to see. The elder gestured with one crystalline paw, and 2 other Lupari approached, carrying what appeared to be a carved stone tablet covered in glowing symbols. The Concord has debated long about humanity's place on Proxima 7, Soren continued. You are resourceful, innovative, and resilient, qualities we respect. But you have also been fearful, isolated, and sometimes cruel. We needed to know if you were capable of true compassion. Ira's eyes widened. Fun's injury, that wasn't an accident. The injury was real, Soren said gently. My grandchild's recklessness near your vehicles is legendary. But we watched to see how humans would respond. 17 humans saw Fun in that alley before you. 16 walked past. You stopped. You cared. You sacrificed. Director Hammond had arrived, breathless and red-faced. Elder Soren, this human violated our protocols. Your protocols, Soren interrupted, have prevented our peoples from truly meeting. This since today, Dr. Chun has shown us the heart of humanity at its best. The Concord hereby extends an offer of alliance to your colony, with one condition. The elder turned back to Ira. Dr. Chun, we wish you to serve as the first ambassador of veterinary medicine between our species. You will train Lupari healers in human medical techniques and learn our ways in return. Your authorities will reinstate your position and drop all charges, or there will be no alliance. Hammond looked like he'd swallowed a lemon, but he nodded curtly. Ira knelt beside Fun, who nuzzled against her with a happy whine. She looked up at Elder Soren, tears streaming down her face. I'd be honored, she whispered as the news drones captured the moment. The first peaceful contact between humans and Lupari, brokered by one veterinarian's compassion, Ira realized something profound. Humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their resilience. It was their capacity to care, even when it cost them everything. Especially then. 3 months later, the Ira Chin Memorial Interspecies Medical Center opened its doors, serving both humans and Lupari. And every morning, a certain 6-legged pup with crystalline fur would bound through the entrance, ready to help its favorite human heal the world, one patient at a time.